सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषाम् धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। पेज 197 उद्धव गीता verse number 38. That book which I have given, the Ramakrishna Mission book, in that book page number is 197. If you are using any other book, the page number will be different. So please note that. दुःखोदर्केषु कामेषु जातनिर्वेद आत्मवान् अजिज्ञासितमद्धर्मः गुरुं मुनिमुपाव्रजेत्. Lord Krishna is going to conclude the Varnashrama Dharma topic up to 39 he will take. So this is the last but one verse talking about the sannyas ashrama. Paramahamsa mukhya sannyasi, Paramahamsa amukhya sannyasi. Two types of sannyasis other than Kutichaka, Bahudaka sannyasis. So this Paramahamsa Mukhya Sannyasi is a Vidvat Sannyasi who has attained self-knowledge, completed the Shastra Shravanam. After attaining that, he need not have any indicatory marks of sannyasa, not required. Just Kashaya Vastram alone is sufficient. Danda is not compulsory, and other any clues of sannyas ashrama he or she need not wear. And that Gurukulam also he can leave and he can move all over wherever he or she wants to go, whether they are interested in teaching or not teaching. Shastra never give any rules for that. Paramahamsa Mukhya Sannyasi. In our regular language, we call that sannyasi as Vidvat sannyasi. Just as Yajnavalkya was ready to take sannyasa as a Vidvat sannyasa. That means after knowledge, once you take sannyasa, it is called Vidvat sannyasa. Or after taking sannyasa, also one become a Vidvat. That means attained Jnana Nishtha. Attained completed the study and attained jnanam totally. So that person is called Vidvat sannyasi. Now in this shloka, 38th verse, Lord Krishna says, but a sannyasi after taking sannyasa, still he has not attained self-knowledge, because he has not studied Shastra completely. In Gurukula, from a Guru, what he has to do, that person, he has got Viveka, he has got Vairagyam, and he has got Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti, and he has got Mumukshutvam also. But study is incomplete. Not yet completed, he has not yet entered, suppose, taken sannyasa, but studies are not yet begin or not yet completed. What he has to do, that person, Lord Krishna describe him Atmavan, a Viveki, the one who has got Atma Anatma Vivekaha, Ihamutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha. He says the word used, Jata Nirvedaha, in whom the detachment or dispassion is born, arisen. Jata means born, Jata Nirvedaha. This is the primary criterion to become a sannyasi. One need a lot of detachment towards everything in this world. That is the first primary quality is required for sannyasa. Jata nirvedaha. Towards what? Dispassion or detachment. Towards what? Kameshu. Towards all types of materialistic worldly desires. Kameshu. All the finite desires. Why he is having dispassion? Because he knows that they are all with full of sorrow or misery. There is no sukha in any worldly object. Dukkho darkeshu. In which desires, in which pleasures, in which material pursuits, there is dukkha inside. Dukkha darkeshu. Just like we see a rose flower. It looks so attractive, smell is so nice, color is so nice, its form is very nice. But you see behind that there are thorns. Like that, every pleasure, every materialistic pursuit, whatever comes to us, there is a lot of potential hidden sorrow is bound to be there. That viveka this person is having. Otherwise, people will run after for worldly pleasures. But jata nirvedaha, kameshu, full of dispassion towards all pleasures, because he knows that they are all potential miseries or potential sorrow is hidden in them. One day or other they disappoint me, they make me a slave, and they make me dependent upon them, and my life will become miserable. Therefore, this person, Lord Krishna says, such a mental mm, mindset person, that such a mental status whoever is having. Ajijñāsita madharmaha. He has not yet received my teaching, that what I have given in Veda, Antabhaga, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, etc. Ajijñāsita. He has not yet learned that Shastra. What he has to do? Here dharmaha means teachings. Teachings of Lord, not only Krishna here. Madharmaha means Bhagavan's teachings. That we have to understand. Madharmaha means my teachings. What are all my teachings? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. That is the ultimate final teaching. For that sake, I have given many sadhanas. All of them, he has to understand that final teaching, how Gurum Munim Upabrajet. That person should go to a Gurukulam and study. If Gurukulam is not available anywhere, a Shrotriya Guru who is well learned under another Guru, that is very important, who has studied Shastra from another Guru, that Guru also must be a traditional Sampradaya Guru. The one who has completed the Shastra study under another Sampradaya Guru, to such a Guru this person has to go. That's a Gurum, Shrotriya, Munim, Brahmanishtaha. The one who has got capacity to communicate the teaching to the Sishya, and who is having clarity in that teaching. Having clarity. Munim Vrajet, he should approach. Upavrajet, he should go and approach, go nearby. Nearby. You should not ask the teaching from the Guru at our convenience. At our convenience we should not ask, but at Guru's convenience we have to approach and study. That is the idea presented here. Now, Lord Krishna concludes in the 39th verse. Up to here we saw in the last class. Next verse. Tavat paricharet bhaktah shraddhavananasuyakah Yavad Brahma Vijaniyat Mamiva Guru Madritah. Now, think that person has gone to Gurukulam. How long he has to stay there? How long he has to study under the Guru? That Lord Krishna is clarifying here. And what type of nature, mindset he must have while studying. In the first line he gives Madbhaktaha charet. Madbhaktaha means, see, here people think spirituality means religion is not required, religion-free spirituality. People think spirituality means study of scriptures. For that sake, God, why we have to worship Him? What is the connection between God and consciousness? I want to know consciousness. I want to know that God, creation, everything. Why in between religion and worshipping the Lord and devotion and all? People think. Now look at the words of Lord Krishna here. Madbhaktaha, my devotee. That means every scriptural student must be the devotee of the Lord first. Who says? Krishna says, Madbhaktaha charet. My devotee should move like this. tavat paricharet madbhaktaha. So he has to approach and serve the Guru and Shraddhavan Anasuyakaha with Shraddha. After going there, he should not show his little bit pandityam to his Guru. I know, I have studied this, I have studied that, I have done this, that, and all. He should not enumerate. He has to go humbly, accepting that I do not know anything. I am ignorant. We should not show our half knowledge, intelligence in front of the Guru. Guru, Shastra Guru is one who is having a tremendous knowledge. Unknowingly, we blabber in front of the Guru as though we know everything. So that ahankara, that always obstructs the person not to understand the Shastra. The more humble you are, the more you accept your ignorance. Whatever you know, that you don't show in front of the Guru. So you don't know anything. Guru knows that. Because until you get Brahma Jnanam, your knowledge is zero only. That is why we have to be very careful in front of the Guru. We have to show our Shraddha towards Guru Vakyam. That's a Shraddhavan. With the commitment towards Shastra, and this Guru whom I have approached is what is Krishna says, Gurum Mamiva Adritaha. Guru Madritaha. One has to approach the Guru looking at the Guru as myself, Krishna says. Mam eva Gurum Adritaha. It's very difficult. Normally, when we approach a Guru and study from the Guru, look at that person as an ordinary human being. But a Shraddhavan never look at that Guru as an ordinary human being. How Shraddhavan looks at the Guru. Krishna, Paramatma, teaching to all the students how one should look at one's own Guru. Just Bhagavan only has come in this form to teach me. Bhagavan only has come in this form. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. That is the shloka we all study in Guru Stotram. But the bhavana should come from inside. Bhagavan Krishna himself is telling, one has to approach the Guru with Shraddha and looking at the Guru as myself and Bhagavan, as Bhagavan himself. At that time only we never look down upon the Guru, we never find out any fault from the Guru, we never criticize the Guru. We know how to behave in front of Guru. When we have that reverential attitude, my Guru is ultimate for me, my Guru is everything, my Guru alone is everything for me. That much. Second line he said in the last two words, Gurum Mami eva adritaha. Mam eva, I am alone. Guru is none other than Bhagavan himself. That Shraddha is there, that student definitely get knowledge. Not only that, Anasuyakaha, not finding fault in the Guru's teaching, in the Guru's whatever, Guru's behavior or Guru's vyavahara and all. We should not find out any fault from the Guru. If at all it comes in our mind such any time, we have to do some prayaschitta, something wrong in the mind. Prayaschitta means some japa we have to do. We have to give the punishment to the mind by giving some japa, nama japa, so that the mind will be careful. Anasuyakaha means non-critical. After studying some time, this Guru knows very well or not. how he is teaching or not. Sorry, teaching or not properly. This type of doubt should not come. Therefore, anasuyakaha, not finding any limitations or any fault from in the guru, anasuyakaha, non-critical. That means that student has to be open and simple and without any hidden agenda inside, like a baby, like a child. That much what you can call, that much mindset preparation is required from with regard to the student. Shraddhavan anasuyakaha tavat paricharet, until my bhaktaha, my devotee, until yavat brahma vijaniyat tavat paricharet, my devotee with shraddha and with a non-critical mind, approaching the Guru, looking at the Guru as myself, Bhagavan himself. How long? Yavat, as until, yavat means until, Brahma Vijaniyat, he knows Brahman. Until the student recognize, discover, understand, Vijaniyat means understand, discover with clarity, Brahman, Brahmajnana Paryantam, Tavat Paryantam, Tavat Paricharet, until that time means afterwards what? You need not have Shraddha towards that Guru, and you should have, but especially until you get Jnanam. Afterwards, devotion become natural, and your Shraddha become natural, and your all qualities, spontaneous towards Guru, reverential attitude towards Guru, spontaneous once you get Jnanam. But until you get Jnanam, ego will be there, ahankara will be there, in between it comes and shows its hood, ahankara hood. Therefore, at that time you have to be very careful. After knowledge, they all become natural. You can never, what is that sloka we say? Ajivitam trayam sevyam Vedanto Guru Ishvaraha. And Ajivitam, lifelong one has to worship, show reverence towards three things. Many of you know this sloka. Ajivitam Trayam Sevyam Vedanta Shastra. Lifelong I have to worship my Shastra. I must surrender to Shastra. I must give respect to Shastra, means studying Shastra. Keeping in touch with Shastra. That is called Sevyam. That is called real serving. Vedanta, Guru also. As long as I live, I have to serve my Guru. Serving Guru either physically or from distance also I can serve my Guru by living in his teachings. Or by propagating my Guru's teaching, whatever I have received. That way I can serve my Guru. Lifelong we cannot stay physically with the Guru. It is not possible also. So we can serve Guru in the form of teaching, sharing to my family members, to the society, that such a great knowledge I have received from my Guru. It is a great service to my Guru. I have to do. Not only Guru, Vedanta, and Ishvara also. Lifelong I have to remember Ishvara. Adav Jnanaptaye. Before I worship all these three, Adav, to attain Jnana, Jnanaptaye. Paschat, after knowledge, Kritagnatva Nivrittaye. To show my gratitude, I should not be ingratitudinal person later. Teaching is over, now Guru job is over, I need not talk to my Guru, I need not respect my Guru, I need not give reverence to Shastra, Bhagavan, over, I am Brahman, I am only Ishvara. So what? All will not happen, it should not happen. Kritagnatva nivrittaye means I thank my Guru all the time. I thank Ishvara all the time. I thank my scriptural Mata, Veda Mata all the time, lifelong. That is why Tavat Paricharet Madbhaktaha. Madbhaktaha is very important. Therefore, there is no spirituality without religiosity. I said, there is no spirituality without religiosity. Therefore, as a grihastha, daily one has to do first Daiva Yajna. Deva Yajna means puja. Deeparadhana compulsory for every grihastha. That is the way of showing your gratitude to Ishvara. Later Panchamaha Yajnas, grihastha has to do. Sannyasi also, until he become Vidvat Sannyasi, he also Guru Sushrusha, Mantra Japa, all are there. Some disciplines are there for sannyasi also. It's a very important verse. I consider this verse everyone has to remember all the time. Yavat Brahma Vijaniyad Tavat Paricharet Madbhaktaha Shraddhavan Anasuyakaha Gurum Mameva Adrataha. Very nice shloka. I hope I have communicated. I hope you have also received this Bhagavan's teaching with full reverence. That's why living in the teaching is very important. They are not just mere words for me. They are not just the language or Sanskrit or English, something. It's not like that. Bhagavan Sakshat, he is speaking to me through this Guru. I should feel like that. Then that Shastra will help me tremendously. So, yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you think, so you reap. That will happen. Therefore, you are your, make your life and you can mar your life, they say. So, where is my prosperity, spiritual prosperity? It is in my hands. Anasuyakaha Shraddhavan Madbhaktaha. Those words we should not forget. That's why surrender to Shastra Mata, Guru and Ishvara daily. Next verse, 40th verse. With this, Paramahamsa Sannyasi's topic is over. Suppose next portion from 40th verse onwards, Lord Krishna is giving some instructions and he is giving a warning also. Above said shloka, 38th shloka, he said, the one who has got viveka, vairagya, mumukshutvam, all those things, and he is a sannyasi, it is fine. He knows dharma, adharma, what is dharma, dharma, everything, and he follows. All those things he knows. But if there are some people who want to take sannyasa, but mind is not ready for sannyasa, there is a nice, very nice to see a sannyasi, to become a sannyasi, everybody, no responsibility, lot of people do puja and all, respect everything and all, very nice. But are you ready? Is your mind is ready for that? That's why without Guru's permission, we should not take sannyasa. Guru has to give the certificate, you are fit enough to take sannyasa. We should not just like that, I want to take sannyasa. No. If these qualities are lacking, it is harm to him. That is the topic going to come in 40th verse. We will see that shloka now. Yastva sanyata shadvargaha prachandendriya sarathihi jnana vairagya rahitaha tridandamupajivati suranatmanamatmastham निह्नुते मां च धर्मः अविपक्वप अविपक्वकषायो योऽस्मात् अमुष्माञ्च विहीयते. These two verses are the same topic, that's why I read together. Yahatu, yastva is there, yahatu. Asanyataha, shadvargaha. Here totally contrast. Previous person has got nirvedaha, kameshu and atmavan. But this person who desire to take sannyasa but not having samyata. Samyata means control, restraining power, mastery over shadvargaha. Shadvargaha means here six, group of six. Shat means six. Varga means group. Group of six who is lacking. What are they? Six. Control of five sense organs plus mind. So 5 plus 1, 6. Manasasthani indriyani, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Manaha and 5 indriyas put together, Sasthani, 6. That idea Lord Krishna is presenting here. Asanyataha shadvargaha, whose sense organs and mind is not mastered or controlled or not disciplined. That person, Prachanda Indriya Sarathihi. Prachanda means here whose intellect, Sarathi means here taken as intellect, whose intellect and is Prachanda Indriya Sarathi, whose intellect is going behind the sense organs. Whose intellect, you can remember Kathopanishad. Buddhintu Sarathim Vidhi Manah Pragraham Evacha Indriyani Hayanahu. That shloka we can recollect here. Prachandendriya, wild. Prachanda means wild, deluded, confused sense organs that my intellect, which is controlling, not able to control. Because asanyataha, whose mind shamadama rahitaha ityarthaha. Simple words, tattva bodha words. Asanyata, the one whose sense organs are not controlled, mastered, and whose mind is also, shama also is not there. Sense organs control is called dama. Mind control is called shama. So shama dama rahitaha, that person. And his buddhi also take always valid, and giving value for invalid things. Those which things are not really having value, for that things that buddhi gives value and goes along with those sense organs. Mind always goes towards those objects where the buddhi value those objects. See the psychology here. Sense organs running after for so many pleasures in the world. This, that, this and all. Here and there. By a vacillation. Violently moving here and there. Prachanda. Confused and deluded and wild, that mind, sense organs run after. Why they run after? Because that intellect, whatever intellect value towards those objects, the sense organs run along with the mind. Without mind, sense organs cannot function there. That mind is there behind them. In every sense organ, when they are functioning, mind also has to be there. Otherwise, sense organs cannot be active. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also we saw that yatra anyatra mana abhuvam, yat anyatra mana na abhuvam nadarsham. When mind is not backed, not there behind that eyes, eyes will not register those things. Mind is not there behind those ears, ears cannot hear those objects, sounds. That means what? I am here, but I don't hear. Blank look. Generally, we use all these things. If whatever I love, I like, I give importance, significance, upon that my mind focus. My eyes are very, very keenly observe, keenly listen, whatever I value. So buddhi is the judge. It judge. This is having lot of value. When buddhi decide, mind go behind that, and sense organs are also happily run towards that. This whole thing happening from morning to night or in everyone's life. Without our knowledge, they all will function. But a person who is having sanyatendriyaha, who is having a controlled mastery over sense organs, mind, buddhi, etc., that person watch the mind, watch his thoughts, watch his actions, watch his words. Controlled words, controlled thoughts, controlled speech, and everything is disciplined. Very, very channelized, highly channelized person. That person is the one real person. He is having presence of mind. But unfortunately, if a person want to take sannyasa, but not having sense control, mind control, and buddhi is giving value for worldly pleasures, that person should not take sannyasa. Lord Krishna is telling. A sannyasi and a hypocrite. He lives like an hypocrite. He says, asanyata संयतः षड्वर्गः प्रचंड इंद्रिय सारथी ज्ञान वैराग्य रहितः. See, there is no jnanam. Atma anatma viveka jnanam. What is real, what is unreal, what is tucham in this world, what is temporary in this world. Minimum viveka is not there. Jnana means here not atma jnanam. See, minimum common sense, koncham IQ. Samskrita manaha is required. Unrefined mind. Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti rahitaha, you can say. Jnana vairagya rahitaha. That means atma anatma viveka jnanam. Vairagyam, dispassion towards anatma in this world, is not having. What he has to do? Tridandam upajivati. He can continue in that sannyasa with tridanda. Tridanda means it Kutichaka Bahudaka sannyasi, it represents, and with a lot of disciplines to that sannyasi. Lot of disciplines are given to that sannyasi, Tridandi sannyasi. He has to follow all the rules and regulations. Shastra gives a lot of rules, regulations. Why? Still he needs a lot of viveka, vairagyam, the intellect he has to train. That is why sadhana, sadhyam must be very clear. Sadhanas, sadhyam. What is the sadhyam? What is the goal? What is the purpose of human life? What I want to get through this sannyasa? Sannyasa meant for what? Is it only to get bhiksha? Sannyasa is only to get pada puja? Sannyasa is only to get name and fame? No, that is not sannyasa, real sannyasa. So sannyasa means total renunciation, vairagyam, tivra vairagyam for anatma, worldly objects, and ruchi for shastra, shravanam. Lot of Shravana Ichha should be there. Otherwise, what for sannyasa? You can be in the world itself. But people want to escape from the responsibilities, from the house, like Arjuna. You see, I want to take sannyasa. Arjuna said, really he want to become a sannyasi? Arjuna, the best example. Arjuna, when he was in Vanavasam, in the forest, he could have done that. Lot of renunciation practice and all, he would have done that there. But he didn't have such a thought at all about sannyasa at that time. And that is the right place actually to become a sannyasi. But he never thought of that sannyasa. On the other hand, he was acquiring a lot of weapons and lot of power that time. And he came to Yuddharanga, battlefield. There he has got idea of what? Sannyasa. I want to take Bhikshacharyam. I don't want kingdom. The wrong place, the wrong decision. The right place, the wrong decision. Why right place? For Kshatriya, the right place is battlefield. Decision of Arjuna was wrong decision. That is why Lord Krishna has to take lot of strain to say Yudhyasva, Yudhyasva, Uttishta Yudhyasva. How many times Lord Krishna said to Arjuna in the battlefield? See, such a great person also, how he became Avivek. Because he saw Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya, that's why he has got this thought, not really interested with Vairagyam or Viveka, Anatma, Atma Viveka and all are there for Arjuna. No, they are not there at all. So the desire for sannyasa and telling in front of Krishna also, and trying to convince Krishna also, please tell me how to get such a highest stage and all. Lord Krishna said, okay, come on, you do this job, you are a pakka grihastha, kshatriya, you are fit for this karma yoga only, not for sannyasa. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani, Krishna Paramatma. Therefore, jnana vairagya rahitaha tridandam upajivati. Let him be in all rules within sannyasa itself. He can continue. Why? If suppose he takes sannyasa from grihastha without doing all duties, suran, atmanam and mam, atmastham mam cha dharmaha nihnute. He is most problematic person in the society. Suppose a person takes sannyasa without any qualifications. That's why sannyasi is 100% dispassion is required. Grihastha, it is an optional. Grihastha can have 50% or 90% for worldly pursuits permitted. You can earn money, you can buy this and that and all. Shastra, go ahead and Shastra says. But when you want sannyasa, 100% you have to renounce not having any attachment with anything. That much dispassion is not there. Such a person is double personality. Double personality, wearing sannyasi clothes and living like a sannyasa ashrama, but not having internal sannyasa. That is why he suppose he takes sannyasa from grihastha ashrama without entering vanaprastha, all those things, he comes suppose sannyasa. What he did, he renounced all panchamaha yajnas, suran, nihnute, he cheated the devatas. Nihnute means cheated. Dharmaha, dharmaha means the name of that person. Nakarantaha, pullingaha, dharmahan shabdaha. The one who has destroyed, abused, that person, Mam Atmastham Nihnute, he cheats me also, the Bhagavan who is inside, and he cheats himself also. Looking like a sannyasi, but not having dispassion completely, not studying Shastra, not having Vairagyam, tremendous sannyasi mindset is not there. He is cheating himself, he is cheating Devatas. Devatas means here Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha. Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we do, lot of rituals as a grihastha, Panchamahayajnas or any other rituals, then we are propitiating the devatas. By Achyam for Agni ritual and fire ritual, all these things we are propitiating, we are satisfying the devatas. Agni devata, Indra devata, so many devatas. Now this person has taken sannyasa and given up all the rituals. So he is cheating the devatas. Hey, you have taken sannyasa and not living as sannyasi. You are not having mindset of sannyasi and you have given up the grihastha dharma. So rending kettan solluva. Trishanku swargam madri. Either you can go up or come down. You are in the middle. That's what Acharya Krishna says. Suran Nihnute. This dharmaha means the one who is cheating himself by abusing all the scriptural duties. He is destroying the scriptural values. Dharmaha means destroying the scriptural values. Nihnute, cheating himself and devatas. Atmanam nihnute means cheating himself. Mam Atmastham means he cheating me also, who is residing in his heart. Mam Atmastham Mam Nihnute, Suran Nihnute. He cheating, he is a hypocrite. Hypocrite, disturbing the entire society also. Double personality, cheating himself, others also. What comes? Pratyavaya papam comes by omitting all the duties which are to be practiced and taken sannyasa, not having vairagyam, viveka, and not living up to the sannyasi life, that person will get pratyavaya papam. Shastra says this person will become a next birth, he become a worm. Worm and pulu puchu madri. He become a worm, and because of that papa. That's why sannyasa ashrama should not be taken it as granted. Shastram, Shravanam and Brahma Vidya sake you have to live, and you have to maintain that Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, Vairagyam, all these things one has to develop. This person is what? Avipakva Kashayaha. Pakva means here, really, literal meaning of Pakva is called cooking. Here, Avipakva means his mind is not matured, spiritually not matured. This person's mind is not spiritually ready, not mature. Therefore, avipakvaha. How do we know? Ragadvesha are there. Kashayaha. Kashaya means not any Ayurveda Kashaya mandal. Here, Kashaya means Ragadvesha Sahitaha. Jnana Vairagya Rahitaha. Kashaya means Ragadveshas are there for him. Still, there is an liking and hatred in that person. Suppose that sannyasi is having kashayam. Even Bhagavan Krishna also used this word. Mandukya Karika, Gaudapadacharya also used that word kashayam. Kashaya means exactly raga and dvesha. likes and dislikes. So likes and dislikes, strong likes and dislikes. Preferences are okay, but strong likes and dislikes alone, they are showing that this person is spiritually immature. Spiritually immature person. Avipakva kashayaha. Such person, what he is going to get? What is the phalam? Asmat amushmancha vihiyate. He will fall. Vihiyate means he will be deprived of benefit of this sannyasa in this life and in future janmas also. Neither higher lokas or next birth what heenam. Okay, either here nor amushma ihaloka or paraloka moksha. Amushma mokshama, he won't get moksha also, he won't get any punyam also, he won't get any phalam either in this loka, or he won't get any jivan mukti also. So all the way he lost everything because of lack of vairagyam vivekam. That's why sadhana chatushtaya sampatti vina, if anyone studies shastra, it is more dangerous actually. They either wrongly interpret and they do not know. That's why dharma shastra jnanam, minimum purana itihasa jnanam, thoroughly it is required. That's why often I say Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata, minimum jnanam is required. Without that, samskara cannot come. That's why you have to be a religious person, you have to read our Puranas first, then you have to refine, and then you must have some Dharma Shastra Jnanam, values. With all this, if you come to that Shastra study, then you are safe. Society also safe. So Shastra Mata also will be happy. That's why how much responsibility is there for every listener, you understand. It's not just like listening. It is Uddhava Gita, nice 5 to 6 to 7 class is nice. No. As you are listening to Uddhava Gita or any scriptural text, you are more responsible. You are more responsible. That is what we have to remember. Next page 198, next verse 42. Bhiksho dharmasya mohimsa tapa ikshavanaukasah Gruhino bhutarakshejya dvijasyacharya sevanam. Now, in one verse, he is consolidating this varnashrama dharma, brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha vanaprastha ashrama, and sannyasa ashrama. 4 ashramas in one sloka Lord Krishna is putting. What are the duties of all these 4 ashramas of those persons who are in that ashrama? First he gives sannyasa ashrama. So from top to bottom he comes. Okay. Bhiksho dharma, bhikshaha, bhikshuhu means the sannyasi, duties. Dharma means duties. Duty of a sannyasi, shamaha, mind control, and ahimsa, not hurting anyone. Not hurting anyone, manasa, vacha, karmana, not hurting anyone. And mind discipline. Once mind discipline is there, sense organs automatically will have discipline. Really speaking, sense organs never disturb. Mind alone making use of them as its servants. So, mind mastery. Shamaha means mind mastery, and ahimsa, non-hurting. That is the main vratam for a sannyasi. These are the 2 duties of a sannyasi. Shortly he is giving. All others are also important in ardha. Then, vanaukasaha tapaha iksha. Vanaukasaha means auka means voka means house. Vana means forest. For whom The forest is the house. They are called vanaprastha ityarthaha. Okaha means griham. Vanaukaha means the forest dweller. Vanaprasthi, a retired person. That vanaprasthi duty is what? Tapaha and iksha. Tapaha means austerity. Here tapa represents voluntarily inviting all forms of discomforts. All forms of discomforts. Okay, this discomfort is for my sake only. It has come. I want to get some training. Like that, he has to welcome. That is called tapas. Willful denial of certain comforts. Willfully I deny certain comforts. No, I don't want that type of lifestyle. Tapaha. Then iksha. Iksha means Saguna Ishvara Dhyana. So Saguna Ishvara Dhyana. That's why Upasana is highlighted. After 50-60 years, one has to take up japa. Only japa all the time. Nama japa, dhyanam, Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam, Chintanam, always. Not always morning or serial, evening or serial, matches, IPL going on, lot of things, spending time without doing any japa, all these things not good. Some entertainment is okay, but vanaprastha is not supposed to have all those things. Okay, and that's why mind gets distracted. The more you surrender to God, and more chintanam, Bhagavan, everywhere, that chintanam. That's why Iksha means here Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam. Morning, evening, afternoon, night also, before going to sleep. 4 times minimum. 4 times coffee we are drinking, no? People, why can't we think about God? Iksha. Then, Grihinaha Bhuta Rakshejya. Grihinaha means householders. Grihasthashramis. Bhuta Raksha means taking care of all human beings and family, children, and other relatives, and helping to all people. Bhuta Raksha means all living beings also. Ijya means here Panchamaha Yajnas. Deva Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Rishi Yajna, and Manusha Yajna, Bhuta Yajna. All of them. Bhuta Rakshejyaha Grihina. Householder. What about Brahmachari? Dvijasya Acharya Sevanam. For Dvija means twice born. Who is twice born? A Brahmachari. Brahmachari, Acharya Sevanam, serving the Guru, the teacher. Acharya Sevanam. Nowadays, how many children are serving to the teacher? The teacher serving another and தெரியாது நிறைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு இந்த காலத்தில். Nowadays especially. Hi teacher and hi, hello அப்படி இருக்கு. சரி, Acharya Sevanam. The more in Brahmacharya Ashrama the student serve the Guru, the more the student is blessed. Okay, this is the Brahmacharya Ashrama, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. All their duties are in one shloka. Lord Krishna beautifully presented. Now the next verse. Brahmacharyam tapashaucham santosho bhuta sauhrudam grihasthasya pruto gantuhu sarvesha madupasanam. Grihinas, but householders, Lord Krishna gives further. Now, householders, they should not take only those two, Bhuta Raksha and Ijja, only duties. There are no other duties. We should not take like that. Grihasthas have some more extra duties also. What are those duties? Brahmacharyam, he also has to maintain the celibacy and not seeing any woman other than wife. Every woman is like a mother other than wife. mother, wife alone, he has to approach her according to Shastra rules. His wife is not just like a bhoga vastu. Only for children, dharma, abhivruddhyartham, this dampatyam. That rule he has to follow. That is what he says. Grihastasya apruto pa yah and ru is there. The rito gantuhu. That are certain disciplines for grihastha also to maintain brahmacharyam, and he should not go see any woman with kama drishti. Only one's own wife he can have a relation, not with any other woman. That is very strictly said in this grihastha dharma. Tapaha, austerity, shaucham, cleanliness, santoshaha, trupti, bhuta sauhridam, and compassion towards all human beings, all living beings. Like that he has to think. Some more details are there. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.